Hey guys, I hope you've all been having a lovely holiday season and getting ready for the new year. It is almost a new year, it's almost a new decade. And I know that you're all very busy at this time of year, so I just wanted to connect with you guys. I've got a bit of time that I don't have to go to the shops for a while, so I just thought I'd show you how to make the tags that I mentioned in my last video. All right, so let's just have a look at what I've been working on. So I was talking to you the last time about recycling, and I'm a big recycler, and I'll probably put up a couple of videos about some of the things I sort of recycle. I would probably like to do a video at some point on toilet roll, the inner cores. I do quite a few things with those, and I know we all have loads of those collecting about. I know my kids never take the empty one off the roller. I've got like a little platform on the top of the roller, and it's always got the new roll there, and the old one is still on the holder. I mean, you don't even have to squeeze anything on mine. It just slides on or slides off. The bin's right below, and it never gets changed. How many of you deal with that problem? Right, so let's get going. Now, as I was saying to you yesterday, I do use a lot of the recycled cardboard from packaging. I love it because of this ivory color. It almost looks like tea-dyed paper without you having to tea dye it, so that's a bonus. And I don't know if you can really see that or if it's just coming up as quite white, but yeah, it's like a nice light tea-dyed color. Now if you can see what I'm eating all the time, well, not all the time because I do like cooking, but I've collected all sorts of Indian. This is my favorite, Kashmiri curry, ladies. If you haven't tried this, you should. And my weakness, chocolate orange cookies, these are my favorite. So getting a bit of an insight into my dietary behaviors here, which I promise you need to change. That will be on my list for New Year's resolutions. But anyway, anywho, moving on. So this is what I do. I take all the packaging that I can. I get my daughter, she cuts these out into usable pieces. The little tiny bits that I can't use for anything, I do throw those in the paper recycling, but I like to keep the big pieces. So what I do first of all is really just decide on the size of the tag. Sometimes if they're nice and wide like that, I could use it for a bit of a journaling card. So I'd probably keep that piece, but the narrow pieces like this, they would make great tags. So let's just get the ruler, my crafting knife, and then it's just a case of deciding how long I want it, probably up there, and you just cut what you want. So that's easy enough. I don't need to explain that to you all. So that would work for me, I think, that one. So that's as simple as that. So you would do that with the rest of your pieces so that you have the tags or even journal cards that the sizes that you want to use. So I do use that a lot in my journaling. Probably most of the cardboard for tags and journaling cards, wherever possible. Right, so that's the first thing. So let's just put that aside. And then what you do is you get hold of those scrap bits that you have. So for example, for me, just to show you the kind of thing that I'm on about, this is just one of the sort of boxes I've put together with scraps, and there are all sorts of bits and pieces in here. Now this is the kind of thing that you want to start using for tags. I don't go and very, very, very seldom that I go and print a piece of paper just for that. I go and try and reduce the size of that packaging. So what I've done now is I've just gone in there, and I like to choose pieces that are quite subdued or muted tones, and I know I do work with a lot of muted tones, but not a very loud background, because you want to put bits on top of there. So I'm going to use this piece. This also comes from Antique Papery. I do use a lot of her goodies, and then I just turn this over. You want to keep the nice side up, so all we do is use the press stick, because I do like to sew, give that a bit of a a whirl, see which, we'll move it to the side there, like that. And just stick that down. So it's as simple as that. So you just keep that in place. Now you can use a tear ruler if you're wanting a tear background. So let me show you one with that, and then you'll see. I just take my ruler, line it up to the edge, and it's going to give you a nice deckled edge. I will say, because people do ask me, where do I get this ruler? And I tell you, this ruler is not in the best state. I've had it for well over 15 years. And I wouldn't even know where I got it from. That's how long ago. It's full of glue and all sorts of things. But I know from other people like Tracy Fox, you can get a tear ruler from Amazon. So if you're looking for one of these, that's where you can get them from. So that gives you, if you have a look at that, it gives you a nice deckled edge rather than a neat edge. If you're going to want to have a neat edge, and I'll show you again with the same one here, you just take your flat ruler and line it up and use your knife. I'm a fan of a craft knife. Feeling brave, you can, that just gives you such a clean finish. And there you have a tag ready for putting goodies on. So you see it's quite muted as you have a look at that like that. Right, so let's just move that out the way. Ruler's out the way because I don't need them anymore. Of course, you can cut it out with a pair of scissors as well. You don't have to have a craft knife. I'm just in the habit of using it. And see, I've made 2 extra pieces to go in that bag. All right, so then it's a case of finding bits that you want to go on there. So that could be anything. So here it's quite pinky. It could be anything that goes with that. So let's find something a bit more muted. Has anybody got any nice New Year's resolutions? Anything like that? Yeah, that would work. Yeah, I think I need to start seriously thinking about losing weight. I have put on so much weight. Seems to be an ongoing thing. So I don't know what kind of resolutions everybody else is thinking about, but I'm gonna have to make a plan about that. I keep getting tingling hands that go dead, and I don't, although I know it's not to do with weight because I've had it since I had kids, I'm sure it doesn't help putting on weight. I quite like this piece of wallpaper. I'll hang on to that for a bit. Can use old tea stain paper, anything that you feel. I just tear it like this. It's like puzzle making, really, collaging, and I just put bits and pieces down. I try to include bits with words on, and bits without words on, so you know, just give it a bit of balance. And then I don't always just make them, you know, to go along the side. I make funny shapes, and I just play along with them and see what I want to do with what, really. Moving it all around, having some empty space as well. You don't want to overdo it. I'm quite liking that at the moment, and I just want one other bit which has something a little old heat. What's this? That's interesting, but not what I wanted. Oh, this is quite interesting. Let's have a bit of that. So this is all you have to do, ladies, is just trial and error here. Trial and error. I might I'm not sure about that. Oh, I love Edith Holden, words on things. I love, like I think we all do, love her scripts and things. Sometimes we've just got to, oh, let's see, do I want that instead of that? And this is how things will progress. Okay. I think that will be okay. So that's the kind of thing that you want to be doing, really. Now, so I've got some kind of a collage going on there. I've got some nice open space, so not everything, there's sort of some kind of a flow going on there. Now this would mean sticking that down, so let's do that quickly. So let's see, that piece needs to be first and that one needs to be last. So last, first, second, third, right. So you can, like always, you can ink these or you don't have to, whatever your choice is. We'll put it there because we can trim it. I'm not going to ink these. Just, oops, bit of a blob of glue. This is where baby wipes are a godsend. Right. I found out there's plastic in these ladies and we can't recycle them, so that's a bit sad. I might have to think of an alternative method. As a teacher, we had a discussion in the class. I teach teenagers with special needs, and we had a class discussion getting them ready for group discussion on plastic, and wow, what a learning curve. The amounts of plastic that we throw away as a internationally is shocking. Something like 4 billion recyclable paper coffee cups, takeaway cups, get dumped every day, and we can't recycle them because obviously paper's not waterproof, so we have that plastic inner. And that was such a awakening for me. I'm vowed not to use the reusable cups that we all have. Right, so there we go. Enough about my teaching. That's where we are so far. So what I'll do is I'll quickly just turn that over and trim that off. There we go. And now we've got a nice base to work on. So what I suggest now is, and this is what I do, is, sorry, I'm just grabbing some stuff here. This is some of the Tim Holtz die cuts that you can get if you have an embossing machine. This is the Sizzix Wildflowers. I'll grab that quickly so you can see what I mean. So these are these. And they make the most beautiful flowers. I use these so much. You can get these on Amazon or any of the craft shops, but we don't really have anywhere other than online here in the UK, but I'm sure that you can get those. If you're wanting the numbers, they are called, let's see, do they have an actual... No, they've just got numbers. I can put those numbers in the description for you if that helps. But those are the different ones that I use a lot. So this is what I've cut out here, and you can see for the current book that I'm working on, this is sort of the color palette that I've chosen. So I either use those, and if you don't have an embossing machine, you can use fussy cuts. So I've cut these all out of old books. Or Tracy Fox has got a digital that you can use as well, so I can show you that, and that's also great. Oh, maybe not. But Tracy Fox does have a beautiful botanical printout that you can use as well. So what I do here is, it's really a case of putting an arrangement together now. So there are a lot of pinks in here, so I want to break that with a bit of green. So I might take something like this. Oh, where's my little spiky tool? There it is. Just take out the odd bit that's still in there. So this I've cut out a very pale cardstock. You can do this out of pattern paper, any paper that you have, printables. And I think I'm going to put that on. I like my empty space there, so I don't want to cover that too much. And then I want one other, and it's probably going to be, I've got peach and I've got pink here. So I just want to find something that's going to work with that. I don't know if I want it to be smaller, so have a think of that one. Otherwise we'll find something. I can do it bigger. I've got a bigger one here. Not sure if that's going to be, oh, I quite like that actually. Looks like the wildflowers on the side of the road. I quite like that. So let's take out those bits very quickly. Oops. Yeah, I want to thank all of you while I'm doing this for all the support that you give me, and you have given me since I started my channel this year in May. It's been absolutely phenomenal. I want to say each and every one of you, whether you've subscribed to my channel, whether you commented or just viewed my videos, it's been absolutely so supportive, and you've had such lovely kind things to say. I just wanted to say how thankful I am that you've been there, because really this community is absolutely amazing, and without you guys I wouldn't have had the courage to do this, honestly, because it is quite daunting, and I'm quite a shy lady. Believe it or not. Right, so thank you everybody, I do appreciate it. I'm coming up for 1,000 subscribers. Sorry, I nearly dropped that on the floor. And I will be putting together a giveaway once I hit that, so probably early January, and give you a chance to win a really nice prize. I'm hoping to do a mini journal or a small journal or something, and some other goodies as well. So thank you again for everything. I do appreciate it more than you realize. So there's the first one down. Here's the next one. You'll be glad to know I'm not in my PJs today. Actually, it's quite sad because it's more comfortable. Yeah, I do like being in my PJs. I did have a lot of comments supportive of that. I think we should have a support group, Crafters PJs or Jammy support group. Right, so let's just put that over that one. There we go. I quite like that. Right, so that's all looking cool. I can take this all off of my desk. Oops, sorry, loads of these. Alright, so if I bring that closer to you, you can see the detail of what I've done there. Still, I love the muted shades, but now there's just two things that I like to do that are missing from here. One is I like to put a butterfly on because that's sort of my thing, and of course it needs a pearl. And I also like a little bit of a quote, so I might find a quote or some sentiment that can go on here as well. So Before I do that, I'm going to quickly just zoom around the edges. So let's just cut some corners off there, and you all know this trick where you just take the corner that you've cut from the one side, hold it in place, and awkwardly, and do that on the other side. Right, so I'll quickly watch where my feet are going. Oh, so sorry. Right, so hopefully today we aren't going to mess up the sewing machine like I did the last time. So I just start and do a quick running stitch. I think it's just, if you are fortunate enough to have a machine, I think it just finishes it off so nicely. Okay. Oops. Yeah, these things are always awkward when you are filming. I think I'm going to be having a really quiet, nice and quiet New Year's. My children are all, well, teenagers and 20, so a big teenager. I think they'll be doing their thing. I'm just happy to be inside, hopefully doing a bit of this. Right, so look at that. Look at the difference there with the stitching. And as I said, if you don't have a machine, you could always just take a pen like one of these. This is just a double-ended pen, and on the fine side you could actually, if I had to do the, now where have I got a piece of scrap? For example here, you could just do like a faux stitch like that, you know, that would work as well. I just like the finish it gives. This is a brown pen. Oh, I've lost the other end. There it is. Okay, so that's another idea. Or you don't have to do anything at all, of course. It's yours to do as you wish. Right, so there we have that there. And I said to you I wanted to put a butterfly on it. I do have loads of butterflies. I'm not going to take them all out, but I've got this one. I'm not sure if that's the colour I want. That's too blue. What else have I got in this box? Sorry, there's all sorts in here at the moment. Get out of there. Get out of there. All sorts. I think that's too big. That's too bright. No. You see, this is what happens. And I've got more than this cut out as well. I think that's a bit peachy. Too big. I think I prefer the one I had in this to start. Right, so we'll stick that on. We need to find a place for it. Maybe it's too big. Let's see if I can find, yeah. Here's a small one. We'll try this one and see. Right. Trying to think about any other New Year's resolutions I want to make. And I'm not sure that at this point that it's a good thing or a bad thing to make them, because I'm not sure that it helps me to stick to them. How are you guys with resolutions? Do you make resolutions? I'm going to say revolutions now. Right, so let's see if we put, that's better. I like that. It's just doesn't take away from the whole thing. Yeah, can you see that? Okay, I think I'm going to stick that one down instead with the glue. And then of course I said to you I wanted to I'm going to use my 3-in-1 because that's a sure thing. You stick that down, stick, and then out with the pearls, because that's just me, isn't it? There we go, a little bit of that. And a bit of a pearl. Ding! Just to get it in place. Right, so that's that. Put the glue on. And then it's a little bit of a word or a sentiment. So, I think I'm going to use Bloom Each Day. There we go. Let's just do a very light framing, as I like to think of it. And then it's just a case of, because this is about flowers and spring and bloom, I love the word bloom. It's growth, it's so many things, isn't it? It's creating, coming into your own, if you put it in a personal way. So I do like it. It resonates with me. So let's try and put that over here. I think it's going over here. Okay, so that's really how I put a tag together. And I might do one more. Won't take as long as this because I pre-prepared a few things. So that's the one there. Then it's just a case of putting on one of these, or you could use an eyelet. These are just white paper ones that I take this and rub over. So that's all I do with those. Make sure they're paper. If they're plastic, it won't work. If they're plastic coated. Okay, so that's all you do there. And then it's a case of using my big thing, which is, and then just finding a bow to put on there. So, oops, and the whole lot fell out. Gosh, sorry. Right, let's see. This one's a bit pale. I've got a huge bag here full of these, which just fell out in the drawer as I grabbed it. I want something a bit peachier. Not that peachy. Yeah, this will work. Right, so we're just going to thread that through there. Use the crinkly seam binding. Right, and then we're going to just cut that off like that. And there we have our tag done. How's that? Right, so let's put that back. Let's have a go at one more and see. So the one that I thought I'd show you would be this one. This one is without these die cuts. Again, I've just used a fairly, this one's a bit brighter to be fair, so I'm going to put less on it, but I'll show you what I'm going to do with that. So first of all, I've torn a piece of paper from my scraps. Let me just make sure I'm in frame here, and I'm going to stick that over there. I've got another piece just with some words on that I'm going to stick under there. I don't want to cover that flower up. And then I'm going to stick that one over there, so you can see it's more to the left. And then I've just taken one of these that I've cut from an old vintage book. I'm going to put that just to the side, a little bit more over like that, and then we'll stick the butterfly on like that. So let's do that quickly. We need to put that one on first. Oops, I'll wound it down. Put some glue on. Just keeping that there just to see where I need to put it. Right, so that can go pretty much like that. Get that all nice and down. That one can go there. So hopefully I remember that. Get it right. As I said, you're free to do as you please. So if you want to ink these bits, do so. Yeah. If you don't, well, that's also fine. It just depends on the look that you're after. Right. Oh, a bit further down. There we go. There we go. So there we go. That was easy enough. Just 3 quick bits like that. You can see I've just sort of kept them to the left, and we've got some flowers sort of peeking out on that side. So we're going to put my flower to the left so that I've still got that empty space and sort of balance it like that. Right. Oh, this one I think, because I won't end up stitching on that, this will be it through the middle. I'm going to use the stronger glue. So let's just put that all down like that. Get to the little edges. Don't want to put too much down and it all oozes out. Now remember to keep this to the left a little bit, so we still see our flower. Get my bone. It just makes it all nice and even. Right, and then I'm going to stitch this one quickly through the machine. So let's have a go at that. I'm also not a fan of black cotton, because I like such pale colours. I prefer either brown or like a mustard gold. I suppose it's just a personal thing, but that's a thought I have on my side. Right, there we go. We have another one finished. Hopefully you can see that. Yeah. All right, so that's all looking nice, finished off nicely. At this point too, you can, you can ink even the edges a little bit, just a little bit. Again, these are all things that are personal choice and really just depends on the look that you're going for. And now again, I'm going to put this butterfly on, just find the right spot. I think that sort of looks good. No, too low in the middle. Were you all shouting? You can even put some gauze underneath this if you want a little bit more dimension as well, or muslin, just depends what you call it, I suppose. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to stick that over here, and again I'm going to put a bigger pearl on this one. I've got these pearls that I got online. Can either put a bigger one like that, or I can put one like that. Yeah, I think I'll put that one on. I've got pearls all over the place. Right, so stand up. Let's put that on there. A good dab of glue. There we go. How's that? Just add these little finishing touches. Okay, now what remains to be done? Oops. Glue. Just rub my dauber over that a little bit. Put that at the top there. Is that in the middle? It's in the middle. Okay, and then finding a little bow for that. That's the wrong colour. Let's have a bit of a green one. I think I was crunching up a green one that I made earlier today, because I do like to just do it myself. Many times I do, and often I don't. It just depends what you find online. Now, of course, I can't find it. That's not the green that I wanted. Oh, here it is. Sorry. Yeah, I just did this one myself, so I think that will work nicely. So I think that's just about done. Let's just get the thingy. Right, so that's that. And then again, just put some of this through. And to be fair, I don't always put the ribbons in until I'm going to use these tags, because it depends on the theme that I'm going to do. So there we go. I think that's quite cool. Okay, so okay, so there we have that done as well. Right, so 2 done. I don't want to bore you and do this all day. Not that you would be bored, but you know, it's just pretty much a lot of the same. But what I will do is take some photos of the others and put them on Instagram in a short while, so you can have a look and see them there. But that's what we've done today. Again, you can put another word on. Let's put a word on here that's different. These are the words I use with my stamping blocks. I'll grab those quickly here. Oh, sorry ladies, give you a headache. I've got these. Let's see, I kept the paper. It's called a clickable stamp set. I got this off Amazon a while ago, but I'm sure it has 36 lettered stamps in the typewriter font, and I just love these, and they click nicely together, so it's easy and you don't have to battle trying to get the spacing right. So you know, you can do a whole lot of words, and that I have done. So here's a whole lot that I have done. All sorts of words that I like to use, and here's one, for example, that I'll just take now, and then you can make them yourself, you know. And especially if you don't have a typewriter, and we all like that typewriter font, and I don't have one, so this is the way I deal with that. I do keep all of these papers are scraps I've cut off my tea dyed paper or Edith Holden books. When I'm using either Edith Holden books, and for example you can see the edges like that, I keep these strips and I stamp on them because this is naturally aged anyway, so that's great. So don't throw those away either, ladies, when you're trying to fit those into your when you're sizing your pages and you need to trim. Look at every opportunity to save on the paper, because they make all sorts of great embellishments for your books. So there's another thought. You'll be saving everything and need a garage for everything you're going to want to keep, like me. I've got everything, toilet rolls, the lot, it's all kept. Right, grow. Where do we want to put grow? I think I'm going to put it just over there. There we go. Were you all screaming at me that's the right place? Probably a little bit over, but there we go. So that one's got that sentiment on it, and that's that one there. So that's what we've done today. I hope that's in focus. All right, so I hope that gives you a little bit of an idea about how I go about putting tags together. Some tips that you can use, again using some of your recycled packaging and things, so that you don't have to go and use stuff that you have to go and cut or print again. Rather use up what you do have already in that scrap basket, because I'm sure it's getting higher and higher. So there we go. I just want to say again, thank you. I really appreciate all the support and all the comments. You ladies are phenomenal, and I don't know where I would be without you. It's like my family, just like part of my family. So I do appreciate every single one of you. I love seeing what you create. I love looking at your videos, and Instagram, or anything else that, or any of the scrapbooking, journaling groups on Facebook. We all inspire each other. So thank you so much. I hope this gets you going to try some of these as well for your own journals, and look forward to seeing you very soon. Bye bye now.